Hey, 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 it's your girl Talia, and I'm ready for you to invade my space. Welcome to Talia Space, y'all, where we're going to be talking about everything. You hear me? We're going to laugh, we're going to cry, and most of all, we're going to love on each other, y'all. Let's talk. What's up, my social media family? It's your girl Talia, and I want to welcome you guys to Talia Space, to the Look Good, Feel Good, and Be Good podcast. I hope you guys are having a great day, great night, whatever it is in your time frame. I hope you guys are having a great Monday. Okay, so go ahead and go get your water, go get your wine, go get your Kool-Aid, go get your tea, whatever beverage you're gonna drink on tonight, because y'all know how it is. We gonna talk down tonight, y'all. Okay, all right. So I want to, give a shout out to all of my parents out there. This podcast is for you. Um, I titled this podcast Parental Control. And here's why. I think a lot of our parents out there need encouragement. Seriously. Especially you guys who have grown kids that are out of school, um, even the ones that are in school right now, even the ones that are new to the world, even our little babies. I just want to give you guys some encouragement and give you guys a shout out and let you know that you are doing an incredible job, okay? Raising your kids, making sure they grow up right and take the right paths. You're doing an incredible job. If no one else has told you throughout life or on today, I want to let you know that you are doing a great job raising your kids. Okay. I know a lot of us as parents get into this, funk where we feel like, we're not doing what we need to do as parents, or we feel like we failed as parents because of some of the decisions that our children make or begin to make on life journey. And I want to let you know that it's not your fault. We teach our kids right from wrong. We teach them what to do. We give them rules and instructions, and sometimes they have to go their own path. I know for a fact when I was growing up, I did not take the path that my parents felt like I should be on. I remember getting in trouble a lot, especially with my mom. I was a hard headed little girl, and I got hit a lot. You know what I'm saying? I got hit upside the head. I got hit a lot. But it did make me into the woman I am today. But I had to go through a lot, and my life took a lot of detours because I did not listen to my parents. Okay. And that's something that I've talked about before. I wish that I could go back in time and actually listen to what they said and actually do, you know, exactly what they were instructing me to do. You know what I'm saying? I remember my dad especially talked to me about some of the guys that I was dating, and he would tell me that's not the guy for you, blah blah blah. But I felt like that was just daddy talking, and I was rebellious. And because of me being rebellious, it took me down a journey that I wasn't expecting to go down. And I'm pretty sure that my parents at the time were upset and felt like, where did I go wrong? And to be honest, they didn't go wrong anywhere down the line. Of course, we as parents make mistakes, but um, they didn't go wrong. I chose my path. I chose that journey. And I remember being pregnant my senior year in high school, and I remember having to tell my father that I was pregnant, and that was like one of the worst things that I felt like I ever had to tell him. And when I did tell him, he didn't speak to me for, I know, maybe a week or two, because he was just so hurt and he kept saying, I wanted different for you. I wanted your life to be different. But it wasn't anything that they did, it was my choices, you know. Um it was a choice that I made, and it took me years to understand why my dad would say some of the stuff that he said, and why he didn't want me to do certain things, why they didn't want me to dress certain ways, why I couldn't talk a certain way, why, you know, I had to um, look presentable and all that stuff. My mom always told me, you don't go out the house, looking any kind of way. That's not what we do. When you go out the house, you make sure that you look presentable, because you never know who you're going to run into. And I wasn't allowed to wear house shoes outside of, the house. I wasn't allowed to wear bonnets or rollers, or, because back in the day, I wasn't allowed to wear stuff like that outside of the house, because my mom felt like there was a certain way that you're supposed to look when you step outside the house. And so they taught me a lot of things that I didn't always cherish. I didn't always listen to. I had a bad attitude and I had a smart mouth. Me and my dad got into a full blown argument because I felt like I was old enough to make my own decisions. I was 19, and I felt like I was old enough to do whatever I wanted to do. And I wanted to be with this guy and go out of town with this guy, and my daddy wasn't going for it. He went completely off. I went back off, and it was a huge mess because I wanted to do something that I should not have been doing in the first place. He's trying to protect me, and I'm trying to let him know that I'm not the little bird in that nest anymore. I've already flown out. But I really wish, because at the end of the day, when he told me no, I still went. And to this day, I regret doing that. I regret doing that because I regret the person that I ended up with. You know, my dad saw something that I didn't see. So that the thing is, we as children, we don't see it right then and there. And I shout out my parents because you guys did a great job raising me. I made the choice that I made. I decided to make those wrong choices. Not because of anything that my parents did, but because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I was hard-headed. I thought I was grown. I thought I could make my own decisions. And so because of that, I had to take a path. I had to go down a journey that my mind wasn't ready for. And because I decided to make those decisions, I started having anxiety attacks at an early age, panic attacks. I was depressed. I had a lot of issues because I decided that I wanted to take my own path. I didn't want to listen to anyone. So I don't want you parents to get upset because I'm talking from a personal standpoint. You know what I'm saying? I have 6 children. My oldest is 20 and he'll be 21 in February. And I watch my kids do things that I know that they're not supposed to be doing. And they know they're not supposed to be doing. And sometimes as a parent, it wears you down. It overwhelms you to look at your child not flourishing and not being successful when you know the potential that they have. We want to live their life for them. If we could just get inside their body, have an out of body experience, and just jump into their body for a little minute and actually do the things like maybe like a puppeteer, to make them do what we want them to do, to make them be successful. If we could do that as parents, we would, because we would jump in front of a train, a moving car, a boat, anything for our kids, a bullet. We would jump in front of anything for our children. But what we have to learn is that if you've taught your child, the Bible said, train them up in the way that they should go. So when they get older, they won't depart from it. Teach them, train them. So if you've done that, you've done your part. You've done your part as a parent. We as parents, at one point, the only thing that I could do was pray for my children, because it seemed at one point that everybody was going, it was just chaotic. You know what I'm saying? I have um, 4 boys and 2 girls. You know what I'm saying? And I talk to my girls. I talk to them about everything, sex. I talk to them about boys. I talk to them about marriage. I talk to them about being wives. I talk to them about being girls. I talk to them about everything. I keep it raw with them because this world is raw. Okay? And if you don't keep it raw with your children will be at war. If you change that word around, raw, flip it back, it's war. If you don't tell them this stuff, if you don't keep it raw with them, they will always be at war. If you don't keep it raw with your children, they will always be at war. I know we as parents, we want to, simplify stuff, sugarcoat stuff. This is not a sugarcoated world. You know what I'm saying? You have to give it to your children raw because they need to understand. It needs to be embedded in their minds. When I talk to my girls, it's because whenever they're in a situation, I want my little tiny voice to register in their brain and say, Mama said. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want them to say, well, you didn't teach me that. Because at the end of the day, even when you do teach them, it's up to them to decide what they want to do. We can't police them. We try. Like, I don't know about other parents, but we have our own lives. I have a 8-month-old, almost 9-month-old that I have to take care of. I also have a 12-year-old about to be 13 that I have to take care of. I don't have time to police grown children, especially when I've taught you and I've taught you well. Parents, you have to, stop feeling guilty, because I know me and my sister talk a lot, and we talk about our children and we talk about our feelings. We talk a lot about that and how sometimes we feel guilty, about how our children, the choices that our children make. Because and you guys can lie if you want to, but when people see your kids, it's a reflection of you. They always say, well, I wonder what their mama doing. Why their mama didn't teach them this and that? And you could have taught them. And I don't think they get that, because I didn't get it. I did not get that I was a reflection of my parents. So what I did, no matter what I did, it still reflected them, especially because my parents was known in the area that we were staying in. So me being a teenager and pregnant, it reflected my parent. What are they teaching her? Oh, they're pastors and their daughter is pregnant in school. She's pregnant out of wedlock. What are you teaching her? They taught me. They taught me everything that I needed to know. I know, no, they was not raw with me. My parents are older and they didn't, give me those type of talks, but they colored in the line good enough for me to know that this was something that I was not supposed to be doing. I chose it because I wanted to. So do not fault yourself. Do not feel guilty. Do not get in this trance or in this depression mode because your kids are making decisions that you do not approve of and you know that you've taught them. Pray for them and give it over to God. Sometimes you do have to do this tough love. I am a tough love parent. Me and my husband, we parent together, but we also parent differently. I'm very stern. I'm the stern one. You always have a stern one and a lenient one. It's me. I'm the stern one. My husband can get stern when he wants to, when he needs to, but most of the time it's me. And you go through these changes with these kids. You go through it with them, and I don't think they understand because again, I know I did not understand. You know what I'm saying? Your parents go through the changes with you from when you were an infant, a toddler, an adolescent, a teenager, up until your grown years. You never stop taking care of your kids. Your kids is always there. I know they say what 18, they grown. They do no, they're still here. You still taking care of them at 18, 19, 20, 21. You still taking care of them. They still need their mom and their dad. But sometimes you have to give them tough love because they have to understand that this world owes you nothing. Parents, we give and we give until we have nothing else to give. We're overwhelmed. We're tired. We're depressed. Our anxiety level is high. We're having headaches, stomach aches. And it's all because we cannot make them do what we want them to do. We see it. We see their potential. And when they're not reaching their full potential and they're making decisions that strays away from who they can be, it hurts. It hurts to look at your kids making decisions that you know is not going to benefit them. We all want our kids to be successful and to grow up and be whatever it is that they want to be. We want to see that. But sometimes they have to walk this out. I had to walk that out. And it took me a while to walk out the things that I was supposed to be walking out. It took me a long time because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I felt like I've been in this church scene too long. I've been a preacher's kid too long. I was perfect too long, trying to be perfect, can't be perfect, not a perfect person. So since I'm not a perfect person, I'm just going to do whatever it is that I want to do because I'm not perfect anyway. That was me. So I felt like every time my parents said something to me, they trying to drive me back to this perfect person that they saw. And and they didn't see a perfect child. They didn't see that. They just saw something that they knew was in me. And it aggravates you. It irritates you when you see your children making decisions that strays away from who they're supposed to be. It aggravates you. It hurts you. It makes you angry. You just want to shake them and be like, get it together. Because what I don't ever want to do is raise grown babies. You're no longer on milk anymore. You're not on the breast anymore. So it hurts you to see them revert back to being babies. They will always be your babies. Let's get that straight. They will always be your babies, but when they're grown, you want to see them flourishing. You want to see them living their best life. You want to see them making good choices. Now, some of us, as parents, some of our kids don't make good decisions because we're still not making good decisions. So I'm not going to blame it all on the kids because some of our kids are making decisions because they're watching us. My pastor was talking on Sunday, and he was talking about the difference, in the kids now than when we were growing up. You know what I'm saying? Your parents can give you this look, and you get somewhere and sit down. And like my pastor said, now when the parents give the kids a look, the kids are looking back. Like, where have we? Sometimes we do drop the ball. Now it's time for us to trace our steps back to see exactly where we dropped the ball. We need to pick that ball back up. Some of us as parents need to get back out there. Need to get back on the court and become coaches. We have given up on our team, on our kids, and it's not time to give up. Yes, I said that we have to, show tough love, But tough love is not giving up. We never give up on our kids. No matter what they do, we never give up on our kids. But we also have to learn how to be examples to our children. Some of our children are living in single parent homes. Some of us have to be, that mother figure, and we have to be that stern parent and the lenient parent. Some of us have to do that. And I don't want to hear this thing where, there wasn't a dad in the home, because some of our single mothers are doing a darn good job. And their kids have turned out to be great children. So I don't want to hear, well, there wasn't a dad in the home. Yes, a dad plays a very important role in that home. Yes, he does. But you have some mothers out here that knows what they're doing and make sure that their child is getting on the right path. And not only that, if they are a single parent, sometimes they have a community of men where they can step in, and show that fatherly side to that child. But sometimes our children just want to make their own mistakes and go on their own journey, and they're allowed to do that. I just want us as parents not to be so consumed in their mistakes that it overwhelms you, that it gets you out of sync and out of pocket. I'm talking to you guys as parents because this is something that I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing it now. And this is why I love having a podcast, because I feel like that I can just let my feelings out and show you guys how vulnerable that I am, because I'm not talking about things that I don't know. I'm talking about things that I'm experiencing right now. I watch my kids and I watch them make mistakes, and I watch them go on journeys that I don't want them to go down, and walk down paths that I don't want them to walk down. And especially my girls, because I've seen where it leads. I've seen where decisions lead. And I never want my children to experience that the type of pain that I went through because I wanted to go my own way. I never want that. Some of our children need counseling, because some of our children would never talk to us as parents about everything. And some of us as parents has made it hard for their children to talk to them. I tell my kids all the time, it's an open door policy. I don't care if I don't want to hear it. I would rather you come to me and talk to me about it and just get it out and let me know what's going on than you hiding it and harboring those whatever you got going on. Let me know. I don't care if I don't want to hear it. Talk to me. Let's figure this thing out together. And if it's something that I can't handle, then let me find you a counselor that I know can help you. Some of us as parents, some of us are too hard on our children, and they don't want to talk to us. Some of us are judgmental because we see us in our children. Some of us as parents are jealous of our kids because they're exceeding so well above us. We're jealous of them. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how parents can be jealous of their kids for fulfilling their dreams and going down the right path. We get jealous. And that shouldn't be. We should be our children's number one supporter. We should always be pushing them for greater. And sometimes that push can look to the kids. Sometimes that push can look like mama is being mean or daddy is being mean. But this push is to make sure that you excel in every area of your life, because this world owes you nothing. It owes you absolutely nothing. Mother, sit down and talk to your girl. We go through this thing where it's like, I don't want to let my child know what I've done. No, I talk to my girls and I let them know your mother was not perfect. I was not perfect. I did some things, and I've told them exactly the things that I've done, because I want them to know your mama is not perfect. And when I did these things, this is what happened. This is why I'm talking to you, because I don't want you to go down the same path that I went down. I chose this. You don't have to. Talk to your girls. Let them know. Stop being so uppity as if you've never done anything. Because that's what our kids look at us. They look at us like, well, mom and them won't understand because they ain't never been in my shoes. I have been in your shoes. I've been you. Stop acting like you wasn't a child, you wasn't a teenager, and you didn't make bad decision as kids, even as an adult. I told my daughter I've made bad decisions even as an adult that I still have to walk through and live through. I talked to you guys on the last podcast about, identity theft and forming identities, and we place these different identities on our children. My oldest son, he was playing football, and he felt like that this is what we wanted for him, the title of being an NFL football player. I told him, I said, let me tell you something, son. I don't care if you ever pick up a football. All I want you to do is be successful. That's it. You don't ever have to pick up a football ever in your life if you don't want to. I don't care nothing about that. I'm supporting whatever you decide that you want to do. I said, I apologize if I put that label on you. Because we do that. Sometimes we do that. We put labels and titles and identities on our children, and they're living them out. They're living out, oh, he bad, or he a thug, or he's a liar, or our favorite line as mothers, oh, he just like his daddy. Especially if the daddy has a bad reputation. Oh, he just like his daddy. Nobody wants to hear that. And you placing that title on them makes them live out that title. Yes, we should encourage our children. We should let them know that you can do anything that you want to do. You can be this, you can be that. But do not place a title on them that they're not yet ready to handle. Let them choose their own path. Me and my husband talk about this all the time because he wants our 13-year-old, he wants him to play basketball, and he wants him to play it so bad. But our 13-year-old, well, he's not 13 yet, but he's musically inclined. He loves music. He listens to music all day. He's always somewhere beating on something, playing drums or trying to find something on a keyboard or something like that. His mind is nowhere near basketball. So I told my husband, I said, you're going to have to let that dream go because that's not his dream. And you cannot place that on him. You're going to have to let that go. And we're going to have to see what it is that he actually wants to do and support that. Stop putting titles and labels on our kids. And not only that, stop letting other people put titles and labels on your children because other people will do it. You know what I'm saying? Schools will do it. Doctors will do it. Stop letting them, do that to your kids and start speaking life into your children. Start letting them know that it's something else, that they can gain in this world besides the things that are being portrayed. Gun violence is being portrayed. Dope is being portrayed. Weed is being portrayed. Twerking, talking about your body and giving sex is being portrayed. All these things are being portrayed, but there's something out there better than that. And I think that's what we need to let our children know. There's a better option than what's being portrayed out here. The enemy wants our children. Negativity wants to consume them. But we as parents, we have to make sure that we are that light. We have to make sure that we are teaching them and making sure that they're going, making sure that they understand what this world has to offer. We have to make sure that we've taught them. And once you teach them, parents, then it's up to them to choose the teachings because and let me tell you something, those teachings will never go away. I don't care if they do stray away, the teachings will never go away. What my mom and dad taught me never went away. What my dad told me as a teenager, as a girl, never went away. Even when I decided to make other decisions, that teaching never went away. It was always there. Even now, it's still there, and I revert back to the teachings that my father gave me as a young girl. So don't think that they, you know, don't remember, or they've forgotten their teaching or their upbringing. They never forget. No matter what they do, no matter how far they stray, they never forget their teaching. Okay? So I want to encourage you as a parent, from one parent to the next. I want to encourage you and let you know you are doing a good job. I don't care what it looks like in your children. I don't care if they out here being a murderer or whatever. I want you to know that you as a parent have done an excellent job raising your kids. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't be consumed by what they're doing. Pray for them. Talk to them. Speak positivity into their lives. Love on them, and let them decide their own journey. Because the one thing for sure is that they're always going to come back and let you know, Mom, I should have listened. Dad, I should have listened. You were right this whole time. You know why? Because I did it. I went and I told my mom, I told my dad, I should have listened. When you talked to me, when you told me that that's something that I shouldn't have done, I should have listened, but I didn't. And I'm sorry. Some of us as grown kids, and I mean you grown people, if your parents are still alive, some of you should go back and apologize to your parents about some of the decisions that you've made, and made them feel like that they didn't do their job as parents. Let them know that even though I chose the wrong thing, it wasn't because of what you taught me. It wasn't because of anything you done. It's because I chose to go down this path. Some of us owe our parents apologies. And some of us as parents owe our children apologies, because we are not perfect parents. We make mistakes. So some of us owe our children apologies. I apologize to my children all the time because I know that I've made some mistakes as a parent. I know I have. And I apologize to my children because I know that it wasn't right, and I don't want anything that I've done to cause them to stumble. And I even tell them now, if you feel like I've said something, if you feel like I've done something to hurt you or to discourage you or to make you stumble or fall, then come to me. Now come to me out of respect, because you're not going to disrespect me, but come to me and let me know that, Mom, I didn't like when you said that. It made me feel this way. I didn't like when you did that because that hurt my feelings. Because we don't get it right all the time. And we don't say things right all the time. We don't do things right all the time. And because of that, we as parents sometimes need to hear, you hurt my feelings as a parent. We need to hear that. You need to let that wall down as, I'm your mama. You don't come to me. I don't care if I did hurt your feelings. So what? No, you need to bring that down, open your ears and your heart, and hear what your children is saying. Some of our kids are crying out to us, and because we're focused on our title, we're bypassing their feelings. And then they go and look for love in all the wrong places. You don't want them to talk to you, so they go talking to a dude. You don't want them talking to you, so they go talk to a female. You don't want them talking to you, so they go talk to a pervert that they don't know is a pervert. You don't understand that they need to talk to you, and because they're not able to talk to you, they're gonna find someone who may not give them good advice. They're gonna talk to someone that's gonna give them advice that's gonna make them straight even worse. Calm down, open your heart and your ears, and listen to your kids. Listen to what they're saying, because it just may save their lives. I just want to encourage you guys as parents. You're doing great. It's a bumpy road. It's hard to see your babies from an infant all the way up until they're grown. It's hard to see them not making decisions that benefits them. But I promise you, they're going to get there. They're going to get back on the road that they're supposed to be on. Just wait it out and speak life into these babies, even our grown babies. Speak life into them and let them know, no matter what, as a parent, I will always be here for you. But there's some roads that you're going to have to take by yourself because of the decisions that you've made. I love you guys, and I hope that, this episode has touched your heart, because like I said, this is something that I've been going through as a parent, as a mother, and I just felt like maybe somebody else needed to hear it. So I want you guys to tune in every Monday at 8 p.m. Okay? Tune in, listen to your girl, and share. Like, subscribe, and share my page, okay? I love you guys. Have a good night.